wins for the Toronto Raptors and 6 straight road wins for our Raps as it's a nail-biter in New York at MSG, but they find a way to beat the New York Knicks 118-112. I mean, look, the Knicks are 12-34, or again, 12-34 after the ball game today, and you got to give that team credit. And I know people are going to get mad at Toronto because they didn't play the best game, and they probably didn't play their A game. However, I got to give credit to the New York Knicks. You know, a team that's been terrible for so many years. They have really I guess, light at the end of the tunnel, except for RJ Barrett, who was out today. And, but I got to give that team credit. They fought, they worked, they were on the glass because they crushed the Raptors in the offensive boards category. We'll get to that in a little bit. I got to give that team a lot of credit. You know, I don't usually do this too often, but a team like them, who are not only banged up because they don't have RJ, one of their best players, but they went out there today at home against a really good opponent in the Toronto Raptors and literally gave it their all. They were up by 13 early on. They were tied late in this game. The Raptors they put that much of a stamp on it. They're late in the basketball game to come away with the victory. And like I said, the 118-112 victory. Now, like I said, Raptors trailed by 13 at one point in the first quarter. I mean, it was not a pretty first quarter for the Toronto Raptors. However, they did get that lead down to 8 by the end of quarter number 1. So it was a little bit more respectable. However, you're still stuck 8 and only have 20 points after the first quarter. In the second, totally different story. Raptors plus 11. The offense starts cooking. The bench gets it done. 36-25 Raptors in that second quarter. And a big time for the Raptors there. Plus 3 at halftime. So you went from being down by 13 at one point in the first to being down only 8 at the end of 1. Then you're up by 3 after 3 quarters of play. Exactly where you want to be. Or at the half, excuse me. And you're exactly where you want to be. You got a lead on the road, and the Raptors, we all know what the Raptors are. They're kind of a hang in there at halftime kind of team, and then they'll punch you in that third quarter. And the Raptors maybe didn't do that big punch in that third quarter, but they found a way. You know, they found a way to get it done. In that third, 29-26 in favor of the Raptors. Big job by Norm Powell and company in that third and fourth quarter. But a big game all around for Toronto. They found a way to win. That's really all that matters. They're on the road. In the fourth, it was an offensive explosion for both teams. 33 points apiece. And like I said, the Raptors did have an 11-point lead at one point in that fourth quarter. But it dwindled down to nothing. And at one point, the game was tied. But as I said, the Raptors just kind of made that one last punch. Big credits to our newest selection to the All-Star game. Pascal Siakam was named one of the starters in the NBA All-Star game. Big congratulations to Pascal. Well overdue. I mean, he should have been there last year. We all had that feeling, even though, you know, things didn't happen the way we thought they would. However, this season was the breakout year for P. Skilly. And he had a fantastic season up until this point. He's had the shaky bit right now with coming back from the injury and the inconsistency and the forcing shots. But what'd you see today from Pascal? He looked comfortable, he looked calm, cool, and collected, and he was smooth. And when those three things are going for Pascal Siakam, he's money. Yeah, he missed a couple threes early on in the game, but you could kind of tell early on that this game was going to be a little bit different for him. The way he was getting to the rim, the way he was getting in the post and making some tough spin around fadeaway J's. You saw that and you're like, oh, Pascal's feeling it right now. And late in this basketball game, in a tied game, he made not only a really nice dunk that he did, it was a blow-by dunk that he threw down, and he made the big-time dagger three to make it a 6-point game late in this one. So Pascal did a job today. He was the guy, we talked about in the last video. He needed to step up. He needed to be that all-star. We needed this. You needed it tonight. 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for Pascal. Shot 9 of 15 from the field. Much better. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 2 of 5 from 3. Remember, he was 0 of 2 to start, so he ends the game 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. So a really good job there by Pascal. Had a block in this game. And look, he just looked great. I was incredibly happy with the way Pascal played today, and a lot of guys did struggle. There's some guy who really did struggle in this game. OG Anunoby's a name that we're going to continue to talk about later in this video, but I want to get to the stats of this basketball game. Now, the Raptors shot 51% from the field, 49% from three, 83% from the line. All those numbers suggest that you crushed the team you faced. However, the Knicks shot 49% from three. Yeah, they were from the field, excuse me. They were 36% from three, so not the greatest, but still not bad, and 71% from the line. But the problem was the rebounds. It killed the Raptors today. We were minus 15 on the glass, and this is why I gave the shutout there earlier in the video, because the Knicks worked. They won the rebounding category by 15. And the offensive glass, they had 14 offensive boards. But it wasn't just the offensive rebounds that killed the Raptors. It was the 28 second chance points. And you guys can do the math. If you get one bucket on each of those 14 offensive boards, what do you get? 28. How many second chance points do they have? 28. So they capitalized a lot on their offensive boards. The Raptors didn't really box out very well. And like I said, they just brought a lot of energy. And they played really, really hard. But the Raptors, being the NBA champions that they are, and being the veteran team as in down through the playoffs and all the way through, they know what it takes to come out with a win. And they found a way today. Was it pretty? No. But it's a victory. And in the end, that's really all that matters. Because as we've known from last year and previous years, you're never going to remember. You're never in a million years going to remember, even in the next month or so, you're not going to remember this game against the Knicks and be like, man, this team really faltered here. You got to win. No one's going to care down the road. Was it a pretty basketball game? No, it wasn't really that pretty. They made a lot of crazy shots and a lot of good plays happened today, but this is not a game that you're going to look back on and say that was a statement game, because it wasn't. You went into New York, a very, obviously very, I would say, hostile environment, but there's a lot of Raptor fans there. You heard some Let's Go Raptor chants while we were watching the game. It was just an incredible atmosphere and a great job all around by the Raptors today. 25 assists to their 26, 10 steals to their 5, 6 blocks to their 4. Raptors, and listen to this, yeah, they shot the ball well. And yeah, they didn't really defend the ball very well as the Knicks shot a very good percentage. However, the Raptors only turned the ball over 7 times. Now, is that a help with the lack of good defense from the Knicks? Yeah, it is, but it's also a really good, thing to look at if you're the Raptor fan saying, man, this team really took care of the ball today. They weren't throwing the ball around. They were making a lot of sound plays. 7 turnovers. Great job by the Raptors today. Points in the paint, we were minus 4, 46-42. Again, a lot of the second chance points are going to happen inside the paint. That's what happened today. You were minus 4 in that. Second chance, we already talked about that. Fast break, Raptors won that by 3, 18-15. And points off of the turnovers. Where are we here? 19 points off of their 14 turnovers. And they ended up having 15 off of our 7. So, again, it was a crazy game. A lot of, like I said, a lot of energy. A lot of points off of turnovers, a lot of offensive boards on their front at least, and they got a lot of grimy points, and they did a really good job fighting this Raptor team every single step of the way. Every time you thought the Raptors were going to pull away with this game, which I thought was going to happen quite often, it didn't happen. The Knicks played a really good ball game, guys. Now, OG Anunoby, let's get to him real quick. He shot 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, only had 7 points, a couple boards, and played 26 minutes. Which isn't really jaw-dropping. However, guys, when it was a tied game, I think it was at 102-102, OG knocked down the 3. He was 1 of 2 from 3. He didn't have a very pretty basketball game. He did a really good job defensively late in this one. I do got to give him that. But he knocked down a huge 3. So you know what? I'm going to scrap this game for OG because he made a big-time bucket late in this game. He was really impressive there. Had a steal and a block. Did OG Anunoby minus 5 while he was on the floor. And we already talked about Pascal's fantastic day. Gasol, didn't shoot the ball very much. I was going to say very well, but he didn't shoot it barely at all. Shot 2 of 5 from the field. 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists for the big fella. 35 minutes in this game. No, that's Lowry. 30 minutes for him. And he was 2 of 4 from 3. Knocked down a couple threes. You know what I mean, guys? I liked Gasol's game today. I thought defensively he was all right. I thought there was a lot of energy there. And moving the basketball is what the big fella does. And when he can sprinkle in a couple threes here and there, it just helps the team that much more because it adds that much of a threat. And he was a +6 while he was on the floor, was Marc Gasol. We all know that Kyle Lowry is kind of a road warrior. We all know that his numbers on the road, if I'm not mistaken, are a lot better, or they feel at least a lot better on the road than they are at home. Maybe you just need him more often on the road. I don't know how it is. But Lowry today, yeah, he shot 5 of 12 from the field and 3 of 8 from 3, which is still 37.5%, which isn't terrible. But 13 of 14 from the free throw line. He took at least one charge in this basketball game. 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Lowry balled today. He played a hard-nosed game and did a great job. I gotta say, as much as this team kind of struggled in some aspects of the game, there's a lot of miscommunication at some points on the offense, but Lowry was a consistent factor. I remember one play, Lowry always tries to bait guys into the three-point fouls, and they called it side out of bounds, and we're all like, come on. The very next inbound, Lowry gets the ball and goes right at some guy and gets a call. You know why? Aggressiveness. Dog mentality. And that's exactly the way Lowry played today, and it was awesome. I love the way he plays on the road. It's fantastic to see. Fred VanVleet, that seems pretty, usual for Fred VanVleet. 16 points, 9 assists. Didn't have a rebound, but had 9 assists for Freddie. 6 of 12 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3. Had 1 of 2 from the line. Had a steal in the ball game. He was a +3, by the way. Lowry was a -6. Norm Powell, kind of slowed down from that whole 20-point pace. But again, 16 points, 2 boards, 3 assists in 25 minutes, 6 of 11 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, had a steal in the ball game, +8 on the floor. I'm never coming off the bench. I'll take that any day. And Serge Ibaka continues to show us this guy brings energy every single night. And it was a very odd stat line for the big fella. I mean, we've seen Serge, he had a stretch at one point for having double-doubles up the yin-yang. But Serge Ibaka today, 14 points, not a single rebound, and not a single assist for the big guy. 6 of 11 shooting, took 2 threes, made both threes, had 2 blocks in the game. He was a +3 on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, what's Serge Ibaka's three-point percentage this season? 37% before these 2 of 2 today. So Serge, he's having a fantastic year. No one's really talking about him. I think that's kind of what we like to hear, though, to be honest, because as Raptor fans, look, we don't hear a lot up here when it comes to what the people down south think of us, and that's okay, because we're used to it. That's what we got out of it, and that's all that matters. All right, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson and Terrence Davis, look, they came in, played 19, did Rondé, and Terrence Davis played 13. They both brought a crap load of energy. I mean, they were all over the place. Both combined for 10 points. 2 rebounds and 2 assists for Rondé, and 3 rebounds and an assist for Terrence Davis. Rondé shot 2 of 5 from the field. Again, as we all know with Rondé, once he gets down in the paint, he's all right, but then he gets a little erratic at times. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, had 2 steals and a block. +18 while Rondé was on the floor. He brings energy. He was great tonight. As much as 2 of 5 shooting, 5 points, 2 boards, I mean, you don't think too much of it. But if you watch the game, you know the impact that guy brought today. He was great. And Terrence Davis, as he seems to be like money every time he goes in there. Yeah, he had 5 points, 3 boards, and an assist, but he shot 2 of 3, 1 of 2 from 3. Had an assist in the ball game, +9 when he was on the floor. Terrence Davis is doing incredible things this season for the Raptors, and he's continuing to show us what he's got. Every single night, no matter how many minutes he has, he's showing you something new. And that's what we love to see from TD2. All right, so the next contest for the Raptors is on Sunday. It's a late afternoon, early evening type of game. 4 o'clock tip-off in San Antonio, taking on DeMar DeRozan again. And the San Antonio Spurs, Raptors lost that game against DeRozan. I think it was by 1, if I'm not mistaken. And now they head to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. So it's going to be a really good game there. The Raptors have been a really good road team. Obviously won 6 straight road games and 6 games in a row. You look to continue that streak. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the 3rd longest road winning streak in franchise history. 6 games. I think 2016 they had 7, and then in 18 they had 9. If I'm not mistaken, those are the right numbers. But hey, they look to tie the second best record on Sunday against DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs. Look, it's not going to be an easy contest. That team is a grindy team, as we saw when they came to Toronto. They've won 3 straight. They're feeling pretty damn good right now about themselves, and they're down right now to Phoenix in the 4th quarter. But they're a team that they're gonna get their best punch, especially from DeMar DeRozan. So it's going to be a really good contest there in San Antonio. 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this game there this evening, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, everything towards this team. And who is your MVP in this one? Mine? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Pascal Siakam, not only for his all-star nod, but for the fact of this game was more like P. Skills. We have not seen this in a little while. We haven't seen this since he's come back from an injury. To play a full game of good basketball. And that's what you saw today from Pascal Siakam. Great job by Pascal. He's my MVP. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other opinions. Go ahead. Go nuts in the comments below, guys. All right. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below if you guys are interested in signing up for that. The link is down below. And I will talk to you guys, Leafs edition. It'll be on the 27th, which is, I think, Monday. Yeah, Monday, as they head to Nashville to take on the Predators. Leafs looking to find a way to get back into the win column. Matthews sitting out the All-Star game. Looks like he's going to be ready for that Nashville game, so we're going to see how this team plays, to see how they come out of the gate. I don't know how this post-All-Star break team is going to look. Looks like the Leafs are in market for a defenseman, so it's going to be a crazy, crazy rest of the season. How it's going to play out? It all starts on Monday, all right, in Nashville, 8 o'clock, puck drop there. As for our Raptors, as we've talked about, their next contest is on Sunday in San Antonio, taking DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs, 4 p.m. tip-off there on Sunday afternoon. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.